Now, Kinetic Text Animator does not automatically size videos to fit the stage. So if I'm looking at two examples here of the same video, this first one here is one that I have already cropped or sized to fit the stage. And then here is one where it is not cropped to fit the stage. So you see here that the width is it's made sure to kind of cut as much of the video as it can, leaving some white space here because it didn't crop things off, so it's not filling the stage automatically. So in this video, I want to show you how you do this. Now, first of all, I'm using the default size of 800 by 600. I do want to point out that this is a size that we just kind of use for convenience. It fills the stage. It makes it look good when it comes out of the box in terms of everything kind of having a decent size. But you probably want to set this to a standard size that you would use on a regular basis. So if you're doing all your videos at 1280 by 720, then go ahead and come in here and change it 1280 by 720 and click Save Preferences, and then it's going to open up all the time at 1280 by 720 or whatever size that you do if you're going to do Pinterest or something like that. But in this case, let's just go ahead and imagine that 800 by 600 is a size that maybe, for example, works well with a social media site that I happen to be using or something. So what I need to do is get my videos to kind of match. So you can do this with a number of programs. I'm going to show you the first program that I used here was ScreenFlow, but I'm going to show you some links to some other sites that you can do similar cropping features with. But let me just kind of start from scratch here. I'm just going to do a new document. And when I do that, I do like to go ahead and size it to whatever size. I mean, just start it off if the program lets me. And ScreenFlow does, so I can go ahead and open an 800 by 600 document. Let's go ahead and zap that and not save it. And then I'm just going to import my video. So let me open a video here, and I happen to know that that's over here, so let's just pop over and get that video. I think I actually want to import. Let's see, File. Actually, I know what I was doing. I just dragged and dropped it in. So let's just do that. So I'm going to go to my desktop here. I have a very, very messy desktop doing a lot of things at once here. So let's just take this dancing and pop it into the timeline here. Had a little difficulty there. There we go. And get rid of that. And then I can come over here. So when I do this, and when I bring this in, you see that it's already kind of not fitting the stage, or it's too big for the stage. It's because the video itself was probably something like either high res at 1920 by 1080, or it's let me see, I'm trying to zoom out. I'm going the wrong way. There we go. And it looks to me like it's something like 1280, either 1280 by 720, or it looks more like it's 1920 by 1080. But it's too big, and so I can move this around and see. Something like this, when you're sizing down, you're not going to hurt the resolution too much. I'm going to hold down my Option key to constrain, kind of size it down a little bit, and kind of plunk it in there. Whenever I'm doing something like this, unless I know that there's some essential detail to include, I'm not really, in this particular case, the subject matter is this dancing lady, and so I want to kind of get her in there, but I'm not really sweating too much. I accidentally rotated it. That actually can be interesting, and I've turned off my constraint. But I can get something like this and get it in there just fine. The rotation was accidental, but let's just go with it. So, and then now, but here's see, as long as it's fitting inside of the stage, when it exports, it's going to just basically crop out or get rid of all this stuff. Now you can actually do real cropping as well. It's something that you can do with a lot of programs where, in fact, we can come in here and I'll just say this. The last thing I would do is just export this, and I would get that video. Now, again, if I'm starting from scratch, I can do opposite. I can new, and let's say I'm just out of curiosity, let's do 1920 by 1080 is what I suspect that video size is, and let's place that again over here. And looks like I opened the wrong folder. Had a couple of those. Here we go. So fun. And let's drop her in there again. And let's see if I'm right. Sure enough, it's 19 high res HD. I mean, so okay. Now in this case, what I could do is I could crop it. I could say, I could click on the crop tool, do 800 by 600. And what you want in a lot of your tools is the ability to move it around after that and even size it. So, now that I've done that, I can kind of size it, to make it look better and so forth. Do something very similar to what I did to begin with, but you can see here this is a kind of an added step from what I did. It's better if the stage size is already there. I don't have to go to the step of cropping it, and then I just size it to fit the stage size. But whatever, some programs won't let you do what I just showed you first. But in any event, you want to crop it down, export it out, and then when you do that, and then you import it into Kinetic Text Animator, which you do by going to the let's come over here, go to the settings, import, and this top button here. Then when you import it, it's going to at 800 by 600, whatever your stage size is, whatever your setting says here, then it's going to come in the right size, and it's not going to look like this where parts of it are cropping off. If I had a photo on this, it would these two top and bottom areas would show through to the photo, and that's no good. So let's quickly pop over to a link that I found here. It's going to be at just pause this video and find this link here. See, iSkySoft. You can do a video also for video cropper software, but this is a bunch of free stuff, Mac and PC. This one's talking about a Mac version right here, but if I scroll down, I'll get more. There's various programs here that it's talking about. Some of them free, some of them evidently not free. And so, I'm not familiar with all of these, but these are tools. Those of you with Windows probably have Windows Movie Maker, I hope. But this is one of many. You just go ahead and do a video or a Google search on free video croppers if you don't have one already. Of course, this does list some that are not free, like Premiere, Final Cut Pro, see iMovie on the Mac. Some of these I'm not familiar with. Sony Vegas Pro. There might be free versions of those and so forth. So just check those out, and you should be able to find somewhere a free cropping tool to crop your videos if you don't already have one of the ones listed here, or another program. Camtasia is a great one if you're on a PC, and Adobe Premiere, After Effects, so forth. If you don't have the Adobe products, bear in mind that you usually can get at least a 30-day trial version. And cropping videos is so simple, as I kind of showed you. You can also just farm it out. I wouldn't be surprised if you can go on Fiverr and get a bunch of videos cropped. It shouldn't take very long, and so forth. So there's just a number of ways that you can do that in order to get videos to be the size that you need them for Kinetic Text Animator.